Hi, everyone. So today I'm going to answer or try to answer a question that comes from one of the subscribers. How do I find happiness from within? And I think that is just an amazing question. And that is what we are talking about all the time. Can I be happy? How can I create a happy, fulfilled, blissful life? And that's why we talk about the law of attraction. That's why we talk about non-duality and those two together and how it can affect you in your daily life. So if you like my content, I would love you to subscribe. And if you have questions, just put them in the comments, and the chances are that I will record a video on it because I love answering your questions. So now, how do you create happiness from within? First of all, I want to congratulate the person that asked the question, because if you understand that happiness comes from within and that you want to do more, you want to understand how you create that, that is such an amazing thing. That is like 90% of the work. It is so important to understand that happiness will never, ever, ever come from something outside of you. And I know that a lot of you will say now, yes, but when I get my fancy schmancy car, that is going to really make me happy. And I'm not saying no, but think about it. How long is this going to make you happy? Until you see the next version of that same car and you say, oh my God, I think I want to have the new version. And then you are going to want to work towards that goal and want another car. And it's a never-ending story. Nothing outside of you will ever fulfill you. And that's why it is so important to understand that real happiness comes from within. And also think about it. I can just sit here, and because I understand that my happiness comes from within, I can just sit here and be happy in every single second of the day, because there is nothing outside of me that can make me really happy. Maybe for just a moment. When I see my children, that makes me happy. When I see my grandchildren, that makes me really happy. But they're not all the time with me. And so it is such a blessing when you can start feeling that happiness from within. So the first step was already made by this person that asked the question. The first step was, how do I create it? So she understands that that's where real happiness is coming from. So the second thing is to be grateful for every single thing that happens in your life and to see the silver lining. Like when you are aware of who you really are, you are a spiritual being, a divine being that is having an earthly experience through the body, through the mind, through the senses. Then you understand that no matter what is happening outside of you, it is just a reflection of what's going on inside of you. So if you understand that and you are with that, you're with that feeling inside, then no matter what is happening outside of you, it shouldn't shake you up. Of course, because of our programming, because of how we are raised, because of how we are programmed, because of our limited beliefs, we tend to think that we first have to have what's outside of us before we can feel the feeling of having it. And that is a difficult concept to understand. You don't need to have the home of your dreams to feel content, to feel happy, to feel blissful. We are conditioned to think that we will be happy if we have the house, because that is what when we're young, they say, listen, go to school, get a good job, then you can buy yourself a house, you can find somebody to marry, you can have a wonderful family, that's when you're going to be happy. So they always push it. Or like when you're in school, they will say, get good grades, you're going to be happy. So they teach you from a young age to be happy when something outside of you comes to you. Think about it. This is how you are programmed. So now you want to be happy from within. You need to forget about that. You need to go against your program. You need to go against what you were taught as a kid. And you need to say, okay, how would it feel if I have that, even if you don't have it? And we're not really ready to do that. Like, we're not really ready to feel how it feels when you are living in the house of your dreams. We think that we can only be happy when we have it. And the steps to that, you have to be unhappy because you don't have it yet. But what if that's not true? What if just the idea of having it can make you happy? That's a limited belief that you can put in yourself that's different than what you had before. It's still not where you want to go. You don't want to have any thoughts that are connected with being happy or not happy. The happiness should be from just being, just sitting here and thinking about nothing and just be happy. And how do you do that? Again, by first being aware that nothing outside of you is going to make you happy. The next step is to know that you can be happy before you have it. You don't need the thing, because that thing is only going to give you a very short time of happiness. You know, you see a dress in a store and you want a dress, and that dress is going to make me happy. I'm going to be so happy when I wear that dress. What if you just do the exercise, you don't buy the dress, and you just go home and you are happy as if you bought it? Just be happy as if you bought it and as if you have it. And then you just let it go. I promise you, within the week, you don't even think about that dress anymore. And that is the disconnection from things outside of you. So now we're talking about things. But what with how other people behave towards you? Somebody says something hurts your feelings. No happiness there because it hurt your feelings. That can only happen because your ego is involved. Because when people say something to you, usually it is a reflection of who they are and a reflection of what you think in your head that you think you're worth. So it's not true. It's an illusion. So let go of the illusion. So to be happy, you have to let go of the illusion. The illusion of the fact that whatever is happening in the world, that it is about you. We have such egos. We think that everything that's happening around us is about us. It's not. It's an illusion. It doesn't matter what's happening around you. And again, I always mention that. It doesn't mean that we cannot be triggered, or that we cannot be sad, or that we cannot be hurt. Those things are true. They are real. 100%. But then it's about, how am I going to allow that to affect me? How is it going to bring me? Am I going to allow that to be in charge of my life? Or am I going to transform those emotions into something positive? Like now, there is a lot going on in Florida. A lot of people are in a house that is flooded, and there's so much going on, and there's a lot of chaos. And I really feel very, very much like I really feel for whatever is going on. Now I can do two things. Now I can dwell in this and I can be so upset and angry, or I can try to find a way so that I can do something for these people. And I can see it as an opportunity for me to be a good human being, instead of dwelling in it and making it worse, whatever you give energy grows. So now I'm going to take the opportunity to see if there's anything I can do. I'm going to support the people that I can support. I'm going to be open for all the opportunities that come to me in order to be a good human being. Because then it's going to come from inside. It's going to give me happiness from inside. Not because I'm angry, but because I want to contribute. So that's another thing. When you want to be happy from inside, it's all about what can I do to serve? What can I do to serve? That is creating a happy and blissful inside. Because then it comes from what you are contributing. It comes from inside. It doesn't come from something outside is going to make me happy. It's going to come from me doing something good. You know how you can, the best feeling is when you can make somebody else happy. It's not something that you do, it's something that you are. You are in a certain state, you help somebody, you serve. That's what makes you happy. That's also why a lot of people that volunteer, they go out of their own way, they take off their own time, they do something for somebody else, and it gives like a very fulfilling feeling. So that is also how you create happiness from inside, by serving. Not thinking what's in it for me. Just go and do something for another human being without thinking what's in it for me. That's a big one. Creates really happiness inside. And I think the biggest one is when you can get to the point where you understand that the universe has your back, that you are an infinite divine being that has abundance or is abundance. You are abundance. Everything in your life is there just to make you happy. Everything. So once you start seeing it through those eyes, when you start seeing that everything around you, the beauty, if you start seeing the beauty of nature, the beauty of what's going on, that is the universe showing you happiness inside. Once you start seeing that, that's when you really get it, when you get your ego out of the way, when you're mindful of all the unbelievable things that are happening in your life, and when you can see that the glass is always half full, always, never half empty. That doesn't exist. It's always half full. Once you start seeing that, you can become grateful for all the beauty. Gratefulness, to be grateful for something, gives you happiness inside. So I hope I gave you guys a couple of ways on how to start a journey of being happy inside. And being happy inside means that you don't allow something outside of you to determine if you're going to be happy or sad. Being happy from inside is a decision. That you make the decision today to be happy from inside. And then it doesn't mean that you cannot be happy with a new car, but you understand that the happiness comes from inside of you, and you made that decision to be happy no matter what. And that is a big, big thing. All right. If there's anything else, if you have any more questions, please post them. Also, let me know if this is any value for you. And if it is, please subscribe and maybe share for somebody that you think can use this content. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Bye for now.